Today's youth need teachers, volunteers, and most of all, well, they need you. I'm Doug Edwards, and I'm going to be talking with real youth mentors and students to give you the knowledge you need to be the best youth worker possible. This is Youth Worker on Fire.
Oh, you're trying to bring me down and run me out of town. You're taking what you want, but you can't take my rhythm now. I'm walking to my own beat, it's gonna be me. I'm not replicating nobody.
Three things that will change how people see you. We spend a lot of time making a good impression on people. It may be that we spend too much time. Sometimes absence makes the heart grow fonder. I was a campus life director with an organization called Youth for Christ in an area in Central Florida for about 6 years. One of the many valuable things Youth for Christ campus life taught us was how to quickly make a good impression on people and leave before you stay too long. And the phrase they taught us was this: be heard, be seen, be gone. It was something that would ring true for years. This piece of wisdom helps you to be in places you need to be and add something valuable. You will bring excitement, encouragement, and a bit of mystery for leaving sooner rather than later. People will say good things about you because you gave them impact without taking their valuable time. Be heard, be seen, be gone. This phrase will take you a long way in public as a spiritual leader. Use it to build influence. It didn't totally make sense to me for a while, but as I went through student ministry, it made more and more sense. As I learned more about people's personalities and environments of where students were and administrators in public schools or private schools, or even going to other churches, that as campus life directors or youth pastors were pretty demonstrative sometimes. I mean, we all come in different personalities, and God raises up that part of us that needs to be allowed and awake, and, where people are drawn to us as well. But this phrase was very unique and very challenging to me, but something that made impact, I think, more than anything else. Because we can tend to stay too long, be somewhere too long, say too much. And if you really want to be thought as wise, Scripture says to keep your mouth shut, basically. If you want people to think that you're smart, say very little or nothing. Instead of opening your mouth and taking away all doubt is one of the phrases. Be heard, be seen, be gone. Now, the context in which they were talking specifically was going on public school campuses. Some of you will be going on campuses, and if you're a youth pastor, you should in some way. But often we might go and we might stay too long or look awkward or, be in a place to where, especially if we're not known very well, that it makes administrators uneasy. They are trained to be uneasy when people come on their campuses and they're not signed in, which you should sign in on campus. You should make everyone aware, or if they're not okayed by the school board. Even more if you're on a private school campus, because they're private for a reason. And so they want to make sure that they are guarding their students. But when it was okay for us to go on campuses, when I had the okay from principals, and over time, if you have a good reputation, you keep a good reputation, then you need to follow these rules. Be heard, be seen, be gone. If you're going to go to a lunchtime, or you're going to do what I did, and I would visit certain teachers' classrooms because I was invited there. They liked me to be there. They knew I wasn't going to try to disrupt their class. When I would go on campus, I would go say hi to a few people and sometimes be very specific. The students that I knew, the administrators I knew, the teachers that I knew, I would go specifically say hi to them, try to encourage them, say some good things, wave at people, that's being seen, and then don't linger, don't spend too much time. And what happens is not only are you able to be seen as someone who's not disruptive, but someone that brings joy or brings encouragement to a faculty, teachers, administrators, and the students. If you're going to be near those students, you want to make sure that those teachers and those administrators trust you to be a safe person. So you're heard, say hi, how you doing? Man, you guys look great. You're doing great. Man, thank you so much, teachers. Thank you so much, administrators. Call them by name. But if they're busy, make sure that you're not disrupting something very important. Just stick your head in. And if they want to talk for longer, they'll call you in and go, oh, come here. No, need to ask you something. Let me pass something by you. That's a big honor, by the way. But then you want to just say hi unless they've said to come on in and be gone. And if you do that successfully, and if you have multiple campuses, middle school, high schools, I had 4 high schools in the area, 4 middle schools, a college campus, and I would try to get to all of them. Now, there were always 2 main campuses that I went to because that was where our church was, or when I was with Campus Life, that was the particular city. There were 2 cities, and I was in Orlando for a while, the Daytona Beach, and then I was in a smaller community called South Lake County. So if you're heard and be seen, be gone, you do that effectively. Where the most activity is, I'd go to a pep rally. I'd go to school lunches. That way you can see everybody, be heard, be seen, be gone. And if you do that effectively, you can make maybe 2 or 3 of those schools a day. And maybe you only go there once a week. But the impression is that you are there all the time. You were heard, you were seen, you were gone. And the word gets around, he is everywhere. She is everywhere. Wherever our activities are, that person shows up, and they add so much to the energy of our staff, of our student body, of our teachers, of our parents. So many good things are said. And that was the purpose, not to add too much, not to add too little, but to be heard, be seen, be gone. Now, there are other things that we did. And you'll notice that with Jesus too, though. There were places where he took longer, he gave longer speeches, but there were times when he was on the way and he would simply stop and there was a person and he would meet that need and he would go on. Or there was a crowd and he would address the crowd and then he would go on. So there were times like that, and he was known to be seen everywhere and to be a good influence, even though the ones who hated him, the ones who loved him, loved him. And you're going to have the same thing. But the one thing they can't say about you, as long as you're not disruptive, or if you're going to bring something, and it's going to be long-term, there were things I did that lasted for hours on campus. But I had a specific role, whether it was photography, or I was helping coach something, or I was helping teach something, or I would be invited to classes occasionally to speak on particular topics. But your initial time to be there and to have the most impact is the quick times. Be heard, be seen, be gone. People love to talk about people that have positive influences. And if you're not there and then gone so that they have time to talk about you when you're gone, the influence is not as great as you want it to be. So that's just one tip. Be heard, be seen, be gone. And realize that, once again, you're being wise. Remember Matthew 10:16. Be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. You want to go in and people see you as very important, but very harmless to their environment. So I hope this helps you, youth workers. Have a great day.
You've been listening to the Youth Worker on Fire podcast. If you like what you hear, please subscribe and tell your friends. Also, leave a comment and tell us what you think. Stay tuned for more informative episodes.